Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm playing with Mixed Media Mayhem. Stitching, dumping, and texture was the recipe. I'm also using my counterfeit kit challenge, and this is challenge number 2, which is everything is magical under the stars. I'm going to use this Wild Whisper stamp and this Christmas Spellbinders stitching die. I will link put them in my comments below if you're wondering which ones they are, because I can't remember. I tried to show them, but I don't see that. so I thought when I was looking at this die, that I could make a campfire out of them. So I'm gonna somewhat show you how I do that. I want this to be a border die that goes all the way across my page. So I'm first gonna see how it cuts, so that I have an idea what I want to do. So this is my first cut, and I just did it in black. I could take this off and still use it. I'm not going to use it the way it is right now, but this is how it was intended to cut, typically going off the page as well. But you could totally do that on a card on a page. This is how I'm changing it up though. So I'm going to take the piercing die and I'm going to line it up along that bottom, and then I'm going to run it through. And then I'm going to take it off. I'm going to rotate it over. I'm going to line up that last one for the diamond, which takes me a little bit. And then I'm going to tape it so it doesn't move around as much. And then I'm going to run it through. And then I am going to actually do that one more time, because those dots did not all cut. And this is the third time I'm using this die, fourth time I guess, so that can be expected sometimes. The dots don't actually come out very easily on this die, so I do have to spend some maintenance work in using my piercer tool to get rid of all of the stitching holes, because it did not come out of that die very easily. So, but that is not an on camera thing today. So now that I have that bottom line done, I'm going to use these cutting dies to do the top part of my flame. But the way that the dies are for those end parts on either end of this one, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to have it off the page to start with, and I'm only going to do up to my washi so that it only cuts that much. And then I had to think about how to put this so I can use it and still cut this whole thing without cutting it by hand, because I really didn't want to cut it by hand. Cutting it by hand would have been super easy. Like, it's not a hard pattern to follow, but I figured I could do it in my die cut machine. And this is what I found out. So I put the end piece underneath where I didn't want it to cut, and then everything else on top. You can feel where it fits into where those mountain pieces or the top of the diamond is supposed to be, on the top of my flame, whatever you want this to be. And then I just keep matching it up and putting it through, and this gives me a long border strip. So this is about 11.5 inches long, a little shorter than that, but it was on a regular size piece of cardstock. And then I did all the stitching off screen. I did try and do a little bit of it on screen, but I totally missed with my camera where my hands were supposed to be. So I'll explain at the end how I did this. But the top part of the flame I did all in yellow. It's 5 threads. And the bottom, I didn't do all of the bottom, but I used some brown textured craft thread, and the other 2 are DMC floss. And then I decided I needed to get messy because it's Mixed Media Mayhem. So I added some orange to mimic the orange in a flame, and I'm going to add some yellow. And so I'm just doing the packaging technique here and getting just color down on the page in kind of like a swoopy motion. I just thought, where would I have it? And then I decided to be brave, and I wanted to add some red. And so normally I am a little hesitant to do red packaging because lots of people say it looks kind of like blood sometimes. So that's not what you want on your page. And so yes, this kind of looks like blood to start with, but when it's all done, it looks so awesome. I'm so happy with it. So I just wanted some across that middle to tie in the red of the flame. And now I'm going to get out this stamp, and I don't have a stamp block that's big enough. So, I'm going to dry this first because stamping on the wet is not going to work. And I was like, oh, not quite ready for that part yet. So I'm just going to use my heat gun, which worked out pretty good. That middle red blob stays really red. Everything else kind of mutes out and becomes more of an orangey red. That bottom one stays red, but now you probably see it because I pointed it out, but before you probably wouldn't have. So I'm going to put a lot of tape on this, and I'm not going to gut my black cardstock. This white cardstock is mixed media paper. So there is a little bit of warping with the color I've put on it, but not crazy. But that's why I put it on a full sheet of cardstock, because it flattens it out pretty easily. And I put a sticky on my picture. I will fix the sticky so it's not all green, this green block in a little bit. But I was thinking of putting this Wild Whisper Designs trailer down at the bottom here, but I actually wanted it, my whole vision was to have it in this color to begin with. And I was like, no, I don't want it on the bottom. This is where I want it. And I'm using a lid from my sequence because I don't have a stamp block that's big enough for it. And this worked out really actually quite good. And then I want to see the trailer on both sides. So that's where my picture is going. It will definitely cover all of the trailer. And I'm just going to put another one there. And now there's two, but it kind of looks like you have one gigantic trailer on my page, which I thought is kind of fun. I also wanted my title to just be a little bit here. And so this stamp is also from Wild Whisper, and it says, "Home is where you park it," because we are camping with friends, and that's so much fun. So we're actually sitting beside a campfire at night. So actually underneath the tent, because it was pouring. So maybe not completely magical under the stars on this night, but typically camping is pretty awesome under the stars with the campfire. And I did at first want to do pictures of my girls around the campfire, but I couldn't find those pictures. So I'll probably do something similar for their pictures, because this won't go in their books. It'll go in the family one. And then, so I can use this same design. I found these fabric pieces. So these fabric pieces are from Ali Edwards. I've had these forever, and they're adhesive backed. So I'm going to use these for the texture, even though all of that packaging gives lots of texture. And my stitching is my flames, but that obviously gives lots of texture too. And my stamping obviously is my title and my trailer. And so I'm just getting these on. This is not quite all that I want on these, but I thought bringing in the white and the black kind of was fun. So, and I used up the whole package, so that makes it even better. I wanted something else on here, so I went through some of my camping stuff, and this is a either Cartabella or Echo Park sticker. And I didn't make you watch me go through all that because it's still sitting there, but I'm not going to keep it. I did back my photo in yellow orange and red. And so, which ties in all those colors. And now you can see a little more of the picture. And then I decided to use the Studio Calico cameras. So I'm going to put an orange one down here, or a reddy orange one. Could be red, I don't know. And then I seen these two stickers that I stuck on this packaging for later, which actually really stuck and I had to rip them off, but I'm going to use some glue. And the top one says "Take a Break" and the bottom says "Born to Wander." And I thought they both worked well for camping. And then here's this orange one. And then I'm going to glue those onto the camera. A little much came out, so I could use it for both. And then I just want a little bit more something, and I'm looking for, I have two enamel dots that are black with white polka dots. I don't know where they went to. So instead of waiting and trying to find and turning my camera off, I just found some yellow ones. And that ties the yellow in with those two embellishment clusters, and so I like that quite a bit. And it is done. I really, really love the way this turned out. So much fun. And it was easy. Like, the stitching took me a long time to do, but everything else was like 20 minutes maybe. So half hour. I think it was about 20 minutes in total. The stitching took me hours to do. And then there'll be a close-up of the stitching right here. And so I did 5 strands of yellow in the top, half. I did 1 strand of the craft in brown in the bottom, and skipping some so they look a little bit like logs. And then the red part of the flame, I came up through the center, wrapped around that top yellow piece, and then went back through the center. And that's how I got those ones. So thank you so much again for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day. There's some other videos here if you want to see some more of my stuff. And I would love it if you subscribed. Thanks so much. Have a great day.